There we go. So today I'm going to be talking about my sixth concert, which I'm pretty sure it was my sixth concert. This one happened on May 9th, 2011. And it was Bullet For My Valentine, 3 Days Grace, and Avenged Sevenfold. And we were really excited to go to this one because at the time, Avenged Sevenfold was my mom's absolute favorite band. They're still one of her favorite bands, but they're not her absolute favorite anymore. 3 Days Grace, as you probably all know by now, was my absolute favorite band until Adam left. And Bullet For My Valentine was my best friend's favorite band. We won these tickets through a radio station, and I may have forgotten to mention that I also won Carnival of Madness and the Escape the Fate tickets that I talked about. And another show that I'll mention in another video later on. And we won these tickets about a week before the show. We had been wanting to go because the lineup was just incredible, but we weren't sure if we were going to be able to go. We didn't know what kind of tickets we had until we got them about the day before the show, which we ended up having tickets like in the stands, but that was perfectly fine because it was still a pretty good view. But what was really cool was the day before the show, I don't know, a couple days before the show, maybe it was the day before, I don't know. We already had the tickets at this point, so maybe it wasn't the day before we got the tickets. Anyways, we got a call from one of the DJs and said, by the way, you've also been selected to win a meet and greet with one of the bands. And my mom had actually mentioned on the radio that she was really excited about this because of the fact that BFMV and 3 Days Grace and Avenged were some of our favorite bands. And he, I guess, latched on to the Bullet For My Valentine thing, or maybe they were only doing a meet and greet, I'm not quite sure. But we ended up getting to meet Bullet For My Valentine. To be perfectly honest, I think they were jet lagged that day or something, because when I've talked to other people that have met them, they've said that they were actually really nice. They weren't really friendly when we met them. The only one that actually really spoke willingly was Moose, and that was to me because I made graphics that I had brought for them to sign for me and my best friend. He looked at it just sort of like, what is this? And then I asked him if he liked it, just because I couldn't tell by the look on his face what he was thinking. And he was like, yeah, it's really cool. He's like, did you make this? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, that's awesome. And Matt actually argued with the manager when they first came out that he didn't want to take pictures, that he wasn't told he had to take pictures, blah blah blah. And my mom had to make him look at my friend Jeremy. I'm gonna get him in some videos. He is in one other video for right now on my other channel, which is nothing normal to see here, but I hardly ever post on there, unfortunately. But he, in some pictures, and like some old pictures of Matt, looked just like him, and that's also his like idol. So we wanted him to look at him and really notice that. He didn't want to do it. My mom had to bully him into it. Like, she literally was like, look at him. He loves you. He adores you. You're his idol. And he finally looked up at him, and that was it. But in person, they look nothing alike. And by the way, Jeremy was not supposed to get in the meet and greet. The manager came out after we had been told to wait for her in this one spot. She came out and Mom was like, hey, we brought him with us and he's a really big Bullet For My Valentine fan. Can we bring him back with us? And Mom and her had been talking for a little while. And she just sort of looked at him and she's like, yeah. And honestly, I kind of could have cared less about meeting him. Like, it was cool, but I knew it meant the world to Jeremy. And I really love the fact that we have the look on his face, like, on camera. Not on camera, but in a picture of the second Matt stood there and was talking to him. I'm so glad. I don't know, I'm very thrilled that he got to meet them. And, yeah, so that was still really good. But then the line for the concert was all the way around the building. And this is what's funny, is the manager walked out with us and she's like, she like whispered to us, she's like, blend in. She's like, just find somewhere and blend in. Don't go to the end of the line. So, me being the person that I am, I talk to people. I just automatically went straight up to these people, and one guy happened to look just like Sinister Gates. So that's how I instigated the conversation. I'm like, does anybody ever told you that you look just like Sinister? And he's like, no, actually, I haven't ever been told that. And then we started talking, and I started talking with his girlfriend and a couple of his friends that were staying there with him. And then after about 10 minutes of just sort of standing there with him, I'm like, you don't mind if we kind of stand here in line with you, do you? Because you see how long this line is. They're like, who cares? And it's a good thing that we were closer to the front, because it was also really, really hot, and my mom was kind of stressed out about some other things, and she almost passed out from the heat. She doesn't handle heat very well, and hadn't had anything to drink for about 2 hours, or longer maybe, so she almost passed out from the heat. And once we got inside, luckily she ended up being okay. She ended up staying and smoking in the smoking area during Bullet, because she's not a big Bullet fan. I was kind of impressed with them, kind of not. They had their sound messed up a little bit, but the sound guy noticed that about halfway through the first song, which I think was Pleasure and Pain. I think that's what they opened with. And about halfway through the song, they fixed it where Matt sounded better. Everything else sounded perfect. It was just Matt. They didn't have his mic quite right. And then they fixed it, and they sounded pretty good, but I don't know. I feel like it was kind of meh. Like, I've seen worse performances, but I've seen better. Speaking of better, 3 Days Grace. Oh my god. I literally did not shut up during that whole set. I was singing and screaming the lyrics, and just was having such a good time. And at one point, they during Riot, they did this the first time I saw them too. They tried to be like, oh, we can't play it, people are being too rowdy and all that. Literally, I knew it was bullshit. So me and Jeremy were like going, oh, shut the fuck up and play it, you're going to anyway. A girl in front of us burst into tears because Riot was like one of her favorite songs, and we were like, sweetie, he's lying to you. She's like, how do you know that? 2 seconds later, he's like, oh, I'm just fucking with you, and started playing with it. And it was great because he also like walked around the venue at one point, and once again he was close but not close enough for me to be like hi and actually have him hear me. And had a lot of fun with it though. And during I Hate Everything About You, me and Jeremy were screaming the lyrics at each other. I never once took my eyes off the stage, but he was like right behind me and he was like screaming in my ear, so I just was like screaming right back at him the whole time during I Hate Everything About You. No idea why. That's just what we were doing, and it was so much fun. As soon as they got off though, I sat down and my energy was gone. So we're sitting there and I'm just like, I actually wanted to go home. I was like, do we have to watch Avenged? And Mom was like, yes, we have to watch Avenged Sevenfold. That's why I'm here. And I'm like, okay, fine. And I stood up because she was like, get me some pictures please, or some video. And I was like, okay, sure. And I was trying, but there was a lot of people there and I was standing on a chair, and it was really cool. Actually, they opened with Nightmare, which I think they do quite often, but they opened with Nightmare, and this guy fell out of the rafters and was like hanging. We thought it was, I have it on video. It might actually be on this channel. If it is, I'll link it. If it's not, then maybe I'll try to like insert a clip here somewhere. And we were terrified. We thought it was an accident, like a horrible accident, like he had been working on something and like slipped and fell. But considering they continued just playing and not even acknowledging it, we realized pretty quickly that no, it was part of it. And I do have it on video. And then the very next song was Welcome to the Family. I'm pretty sure that was the next one. And again, I tried to film it, and I'm still standing on this chair, which they're kind of like movie theater seats where they'll flip up. And I'm standing on it, kind of like balancing on Jeremy's shoulder a little bit, along with like just sort of trying to like stand. I moved my foot like half an inch and it fell backwards. Like it literally, the chair went like this, and I fell and like my leg got caught like in the little slot like that gets formed. I can't explain it. You should know what a movie theater seat looks like. I'm assuming they are the same in every country. And honestly, had Jeremy not caught me, I probably would have broken my knee. And it still gives me some troubles every now and then. It locks up and it cracks, like it just did that now when I extended my leg. And yeah, that was pretty awful. I felt like I was limping when I wasn't, and honestly, I was done after that. I just literally was like, no, I'm done. I sat there and just like watched them. Didn't care. I was sore, I was tired, I just didn't want to. And, although I must say I was really impressed. This was the Welcome to the Family tour, and, it was all in memory of the Rev, and they, had like a really cool like graveyard scene set up, and what really impressed me the most, I think, was when they did, I think it was right before they did So Far Away, Matt did a whole big speech that literally didn't have a dry eye in the house. It was just so moving and touching, and it was all about the Rev, and he said something about, if you put your hands up in the sky or something, like he'll see you or something. I don't remember. He said something really cool that would be like the Rev is still here with us. And it was actually kind of eerie in a way, because it's like they played like Critical Acclaim and stuff like that, and they had the drums raised up so you couldn't see the drummer, you just saw the drumsticks moving, and it was kind of eerie in a way, hearing a dead man singing and like the drums looking like they were playing themselves. And, like, for Fiction, literally all you saw was one spotlight on the piano that seemed to be playing itself, and then one on Matt, and that was kind of eerie but really, really cool. I was very impressed by that, and I was impressed by all of that, except for I was kind of annoyed by, after I realized that they had, like, I understood why they had the recording on for Critical Acclaim, because of course, why wouldn't they, especially on a memorial tour for the Rev. But I realized later too that Matt still had the recording on, because at one point you could hear him, but I was looking right at him and his mouth wasn't moving, and I was like, huh, I didn't know what to make of that. And but overall I was impressed, and I was really impressed by their stage presence. And during Matt's speech, actually, there was like these three guys in front of us, and we thought they were just friends until, like, well, no, they probably still were just friends. I don't know. I think two of them were a couple and the other one wasn't. But the one guy, as he was talking about the Rev, he like burst into tears, like absolutely just sobbing. And it was like, it was kind of cute in a way, just because it was like how fandoms are. It's just cool. And I love to see the dedication that people have, and I don't know. It was all just really cool, and I haven't seen Bullet For My Valentine again since then, and it kind of makes me sad that was the last time I saw Adam. I'm going to see him eventually when on his solo stuff, but he hasn't come to Florida yet, so one day I will go and see him again, and it'll be so lovely. I have seen Avenged Sevenfold again, which that's another concert that we won tickets for, and that will be talked about like later in a week or two. And I have not seen Bullet For Valentine again. I was going to see them on April 2011, which I would have seen all three of them then again, but I ended up not going to the show. I had tickets, but it started raining, and I had been told that the venue flooded really bad if it rained, and all kinds of stuff, so I ended up not going. But anyways, I hope you guys liked that story. There's more where that came from, and you'll be getting 2 stories a week, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it again. I think I just said that. Goodbye.
Hey kid, do I have your attention? I know the way you've been living. Life's so reckless, tragedy endless. Welcome to the family. Hey, there's something missing. Only time will alter your vision. Never in question, lethal injection. Welcome to the family.